Welcome. My name is Jeremiah Myers. I'm the Resource Development Director for Lexington Habitat for Humanity. In this short video, I'm going to share with you a little bit about our Resource Development Department, our mission, and how we accomplish our goals. First, I wanted to just mention that I am recording this at home. I do have a couple of cats and a couple of children who may make appearances at any given point. I've done my best to minimize any distractions, but this being 2020, we can't make any guarantees about that. So just ask that you enjoy any of those brief interruptions. I also wanted to go ahead and introduce a couple of the folks that you'll be working with for RD. I have a wonderful team that works with me, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy getting to know them. For all of our communications needs, you have Brandolyn Foster. For our outreach, you have Christina Grimm, and for our community engagement, you have Glenn Means. Now, for each of them this year in 2020, they have responded gracefully and with flexibility and creativity to meet the challenges. So each of them have worn some different hats this year, and you may encounter them in different roles, but by and large, Glenn will handle our volunteer program and ways that we directly interact with folks. Christina will handle our outreach, which is special events and those opportunities to go out and share more about our organization. She's a wonderful ambassador and a wonderful voice in the community for us, and we are disappointed that 2020 has meant that that's been remarkably curbed. Brandolyn handles our communications, and that covers all manner of sins. So she is responsible for our social media, for our e-news that goes out, for virtually all of the various creative pieces that you will encounter. She is gifted, and we are awfully glad to have all of them with us and helping to meet Habitat's needs here in Lexington. For our department, our mission is to make sure that the affiliate as a whole has all of the resources needed to serve our ministry here in Lexington. Those resources may be financial. We do all of the fundraising, but we are responsible for all of the particular fundraising. But they also may be human. I mentioned that Glenn is in charge of our volunteer program and runs that quite well, but we this year have discovered just how challenging it is to build our homes on schedule and in the ways that we know and appreciate without the benefit of volunteers. And so we look forward to restoring some normalcy for that. Beyond that, we help coordinate gift in kind or any other resources that we can encounter to make our affiliate function, hopefully smoothly and with joy in our service. I'm going to go ahead and step away from the screen. I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint that's going to help me talk you through a little bit of the partnerships that make our department work. Our efforts for resource development, we always strive to keep our mission and our vision front and center in what we do. And so our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Simple statement, but remarkably complicated in execution, as you will discover in your time with Lexington Habitat. Our mission statement is seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And so for us in resource development, we see that bringing people together to build homes, communities, hope. We strive to bring those partnerships to this. And we benefit from a generous community, one that stays active and engaged throughout our ministry. Even in this year when we can't be together in person, we've been fortunate folks continue to support us and join together with us in whatever ways they can. Our local partners, I'll begin on the local level and then stretch out to the broader partnerships. But locally, we have been blessed with a variety of partners. Many of those are local corporations, local businesses that have supported our organization, many times going back to the very beginning of our organization. Those folks include many that you serve on and serve with, like Valvoline, Kimi are in there. But others include Schneider Electric, US Bank, PNC, Lexmark, and Linkbelt. There's some others that you may not see on this particular list. We did not try to be exhaustive in this. It is a remarkable group of folks who support us large and small, and so we're happy to dive deeper into what those look like, but we wanted to give you a taste of that. There are some others that you may not see on the list, and that's probably because those are facilitated through other means, and we'll get to that a little bit later. We also benefit from many of the family foundations. So Lexington Habitat is joyful in that there have been a history of support from for various groups that have come together to help with that. those, again, are often local and sometimes come to us through the Bluegrass Community Foundation. Um, but additionally, locally, you'll also see that we benefit from Lexington, Fayette Urban County government, and particularly lately with their Affordable Housing Fund. This is an organization that within LFUCG that has made its goal to support affordable housing. And so they have supported us in our homebuyer program and in some repairs that we have done along the way. Additionally, you'll see that we have the support of many, many local congregations. So you'll see a few there: the Catholic parishes, the Methodists, Disciples for Habitat, which is a group of Disciples of Christ churches that have served alongside us for more than 20, 25 years at this point. They are remarkably faithful in their generosity and enjoy building on the homes themselves, although that has gotten to be quite challenging in recent years as some of them have aged gracefully and often actively, but that partnership has changed a little bit. But they additionally have continued their funding this year, even in the midst of the COVID challenges that we've faced. I'm privileged to get to work particularly closely with a group, the Hen congregation. Hen is Holy Ecumenical Neighbor. Before that, they were Cow. You'll notice the barnyard theme there. And the Holy Ecumenical Neighbors is a group that changes year by year. Some folks will drift in and out over the course of time, but includes some of the local Presbyterian, Episcopalian, and some of our multi-faith builds as well. We also are pleased to work with many civic groups. Rotary International is one that you may be particularly familiar with. And so if there are ever partnerships that are available there, we're happy to hear about that and to see what new places we can go with that. Our local fundraising efforts and partnerships also include direct mail, which should be hitting mailboxes just about the time that this is being recorded, and many, many individual contributions. Those will include our monthly recurring donors. Some of them give as little as $25 a month, or in some cases even less, but over time will accumulate to thousands of dollars. So some of those are larger annual gifts or episodic gifts, but we are appreciative of all of the folks in our community who help make that possible. As a board member, we're also excited that you'll have the opportunity to help us support some of our special events. Those have changed a little bit this year, obviously, but have a rich history going back. The Shamrock Shuffle 3K is a unique event, happens with St. Patrick's Day. And it's typically been held in downtown Lexington. Last year, we were not able to have that race in person. We did transition it to a virtual race just after COVID-19 broke in our community. Next year, 2021, we're interested to see what that looks like. We have brought a lot of creativity to try and solve those problems, but we will see what the situation is as we get a little bit closer, and we'll respond accordingly. We are also fortunate to have a couple of events that happen every year. For many years, we've been partnering with the Liberty Mutual Invitational Golf Tournament, most recently at Spring Valley Golf Course. That has, for many years, supported the Pat Smith Endowment Fund and the ministry that comes with that. But this year, we actually transitioned that to supporting the affiliate broadly, and we will see where the future takes us with that. We just wrapped up our Bids for Builds online auction. This was a particularly great year for us in light of the situation, more folks being at home and being more accustomed to online shopping. So you've just missed that opportunity, but we hope that you'll keep an eye out in 2021 as we continue that and hopefully meet with even more success as we go ahead. In addition to our local partners and local partnerships that make this function, we have a variety of folks at the state and the national level that make our ministry possible. The first and obvious one is the Habitat for Humanity International partnerships. Those look like a variety of things. They often will facilitate long-term partnerships that are siphoned through Habitat for Humanity International, HFHI, but may cover a variety of needs for our affiliate. Some of those include Schneider Electric, was one of our first corporate sponsors here locally. We also annually will partner with Thrivent. Rob Lawson, who you'll get to know, a member of our board, is a significant player there locally and making that partnership so successful. They are currently partnering with 4 faith builds every year that include the congregations that I mentioned earlier, as well as the volunteer aspects of that, which we will look forward to getting back to at some point. Other partners there that include the Wells Fargo Housing Foundation, Gift in Kind, Whirlpool donates generously with their appliances every year, and there are several others. Habitat for Humanity also helps facilitate some of our government funding. So coming through HUD in particular, the Housing and Urban Development, we will see SHOP funds, home funds, veterans funding, and capacity build. SHOP funds, self-help opportunity program. Interesting acronyms as you get into some of these grant programs, but that will help with acquisition and infrastructure for lots that we acquire. Veterans building is one that we have worked with, hopefully for repairs. We've recently been awarded several projects there that we will be able to work with a disabled veteran to go in and do some much needed Love Your Neighborhood repair work. Capacity building has helped with a variety of positions over the years, and it's currently helping us support Clint Morris, our human resources person, as we have dealt with all of the fallout of COVID. So it looks a little bit different every year, and you will periodically, as a board member, have the opportunity to help us with paperwork and signing some of the agreements that come with that government funding. Always plenty of opportunities for paperwork there. As I mentioned, the HUD funding for us, that actually comes to us through, for home, actually comes to us through LFUCG. And so we partner with grants and special programs downtown to make those partnerships happen. Currently, that takes the form of down payment assistance for homebuyer families that meet certain criteria. We also work with Kentucky Housing Corporation. As you see there, they help us with both Love Your Neighborhood and homebuyer program, again with the down payment assistance. And Federal Home Loan Bank of Cincinnati, despite the federal in their name, they are not a government entity, but they are a partner across several states and have been a particularly helpful grantor in working with us. And right now our homebuyer program and in years past as well with some of our Love Your Neighborhood work. We are grateful for all of these partners and look forward to working with them and telling you more about it as your interests and time allows. So as you've no doubt realized by now, with the many presentations that you've read, the materials that you've read, the presentations you've watched, Habitat's a complicated organization. And so bringing the partnerships together to make that work is also complicated. There are a couple different ways that are primary. I mentioned our grant funders, folks that help with both the development of homes and the down payment assistance for our home buyers. Those things come into play because we often will sell the homes for less than what it costs to build them, which is an interesting business model. Very often we will also see a situation arise where a family is not able to afford the full appraised value of the homes. Lexington Habitat, as one of the statutes that comes down to us through Habitat for Humanity International, is required to sell the home for the appraised value, but many of the families can't afford the full appraised value. And so that's where down payment assistance comes into play. That's also where we will subsidize a silent and forgivable mortgage or bring all sorts of other creative pieces into play to try and make sure that the family is able to afford their monthly payments. We will be digging into that in some of the other pieces, and I'm happy to spend some time with you explaining the intricacies of that if you are so interested and inclined. But that's just one of the ways that our resource development comes into play. We also will work with many of our organizations through the sponsorship model. So currently, Lexington Habitat full home sponsorship is $62,000, and we have some entities that have made that payment and made that partnership possible through just one entity. The Parker family is a local family that has supported us throughout several years now and continues to support us with a full home sponsorship annually. But many of our groups will come together to make that Sorry, I've got a cat trying to get to the bird feeder right outside the window, so my apologies. My apologies for that interruption. I did warn you that I have many housemates here, and 2020 has provided plenty of opportunities for them to interrupt meetings and calls and presentations like this. But as I was saying, our $62,000 home sponsorships often come together with many different organizations, entities, and groups to make that possible. So that helps us with the cost associated with the homebuyer program. Those folks get opportunities for signage on build sites. Those folks get opportunities at groundbreakings and at home dedications to be an active part in that partnership. And in a typical year, that sponsorship would also come with the opportunity for them to help build the home. Some organizations will use that as team building opportunities for staff, opportunities for just bringing folks together and building that community side of what we do. Generally, we will find that building the home is actually the simplest part of our partnerships. We have many devoted and longtime volunteers who come together and help us in that construction project. They know how to build the Habitat way. We have a gifted construction department that welcomes volunteers and that takes the opportunity to both teach them how to build a home with the technical side of it, the hard skills, but also are gifted educators with those soft skills. It's a remarkable set of talents, and we are so grateful for them and the way that they help facilitate those partnerships. But building the community and building hope, part of our mission, really get to be even more challenging. And so we appreciate your efforts in coming together and helping us bring more folks into the Habitat family. We welcome you to that, and we look forward to working with you that. As a member of the board, if you have potential partnerships, please, I ask you to bring those to me, and we will help facilitate that process. If you have questions about what the volunteer program looks like, we're happy to dive more into that. We will answer some questions about what that may look like in 2021 and going forward ourselves as we see what the landscape looks like. We look forward to folks coming back together safely to do that. And for us, the building homes, the building community naturally lends itself to building hope. Seeing what an organization like this and individuals such as yourself can do as we work together to make our community a better place for everybody to live, we are so grateful that that naturally lends itself to building hope. Something that we all need more of in 2020 and that we appreciate your part in. So again, my name is Jeremiah Myers. You'll hear from me in other segments, but I am so grateful for your partnership and look forward to getting to know you better in days, weeks, months, and hopefully years to come. Thank you.